All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Today I've got an interesting topic for you today. First of all, look at my beautiful Mark Holcomb guitar. It's getting a little bit dusty at the bridge there, but yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the first discussion I'm going to talk about is drop tunings. Drop C, right? Okay, so strings are kind of a thing where you can pick a gazillion different strings. Where do you start? What do you use? Why do you use? And I'm going to start with, I guess, string gauge first rather than brands and stuff like that, because the brands are really kind of arbitrary. You have to experiment with them to see what, on one guitar, this might be your best string. On another guitar, it might be this. It's just the way it goes, right? So what I got here are pretty much all the same set except for one. So they're all 10 to 46. So I've got a Fender, I've got the Gibson Bright Wines, I've got the nickel wound XLs, Dario, and Dean Markany. These are nice, and of course the GHS Boomers, right? Wow, these are the exact brand is the GBTNT model, and you get all that info on the back of what's doing what. So the TNTs, thin, thick. So you got, like, give you an idea. You got ultralight, ultralight plus, extra light, extra light plus, custom light, LT, XT, light plus, medium, thick, thin, thick, heavy, medium, heavy, wound, third, heavy, wound, third. So you can see, like, what does all that mean, right? Well, that's what this is a good case study package right here. So the thing is when you get your guitar, right, you buy it from the store. Most guitars are going to either have 9s or 10s on them. If you have a Floyd Rose, chances are it's going to be 9 gauge. If you have a fixed bridge, chances are it's going to be 10 gauge. Some will come with 9s, but most of the time 10. And typically the string gauge makes two differences. First difference is, and this is pretty much known for experienced players, is that the thicker the string, the thicker the tone, right? So that might be one reason why you pick one gauge over another. The second is string tension. And these two categories are what really chooses what string you're going to choose for what. So you notice I talked about drop C tuning. You can't really get away with that kind of tension with 9s because you're down tuning at 2.5 steps, right? For the E's going down 2.5 steps. So you need a thicker string to be able to take that tension. I'll get more in depth on the drop tuning stuff. Just got to watch the time here. Glasses on, I can't see nothing. Oh yeah, we're lots of time. So thicker the string, thicker the tone. Now, if you got a guitar that's really dark and muddy, say like my SG's way back there in the corner, you don't want to use thick strings on. Although I have experimented with even between nickel wound and flat wounds, which I don't have any here. But if you want the ultimate clean sounding guitar, get yourself some flat wounds. I do plan on getting some the next time I'm out to the music store. I want to pick up a whole plethora of strings. Because if you have a string that's really thick and you're at natural, like a standard tuning, sometimes it could be just too muddy, right? Like you only go to a thicker string if you really need that extra tension a lot of times. Or if you find that the guitar is just really thin sounding. So like say a guitar with humbuckers like this, these are really outrageously hot humbuckers, right? So you don't really need a really thick sounding string to get a lot of oomph out of it. So you know, if you were in standard tuning, you could probably play 9s. I'd probably play 10 to 46 on it, just because, you know, at standard tuning. But I've never put this guitar to standard tuning. It just sounds too good in drop C and other drop tunings that I've tried. This is kind of my designated drop tuning guitar. Maybe one day I'll try it at standard tuning just to see what happens, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. I've got enough guitars in standard tuning that you know, this will be the guitar for that. And this has 10 PRS 10 to 52s on here, same as this. So everyone here, every string here, okay, is basically, we'll use the Gibson, these Gibson bright wines. I've used the bright wines, and I've used the like, I've experimented with like probably 50 different types of strings over the years. These are kind of my staple for my SGs. I found these strings just sounded the best on it. There's the bright wines. There's the what's called the vintage wines. I didn't like the vintage wines as much because I found them a little bit too twangy. But if you wanted a more, if you were playing a guitar like a Les Paul or an SG with burst buckers or P90s, and you wanted more of that kind of country twangy sound, I would highly recommend the vintage wines. Same string, it's just a slight different sound characteristic. For the rock guys, the metal guys, the bright wines are the way to go. And these are reasonably priced for a Gibson product. That's kind of strange, right? But you got a 10, a 13, a 17, a 26, a 36, and a 46, right? And the rest of these strings are like that, except for this one is a little bit different. I'll read you off what these ones are. These ones, oops. These ones are, where is it? 10, 13, 17, DY30, a DY44, and DY52. Yeah, so there we go. And these are electric. So this is a heavy gauge. So this gauge is probably, this set is probably going to end up on that guitar. And I can basically use the PRS strings as the bench, the base model to compare. Which brings me to my next topic, comparing strings. So a string gauge, thicker the string, thicker the tone. The main reason to go to thicker strings is usually for drop tunings or slide guitar players, that type of thing. Or you got a guitar that's really anemic on the low end type of thing. I think like really weak single coils or something like that. Then you'd go with a thicker string. Other than that, there's tension issues. So once you get above a 10 gauge to 46, you're putting a lot of tension on that guitar. So anyway, I'll go to the next one.